Hello and welcome. We're the Bitches with Beards, and we love to talk all things culture.
On this podcast, we chat our top 3 cultural moments of the week.
It's the Cultural Three-Way. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Max. We saw you from across the bar.
And we really love your vibe.
Cheers. Hi, Daniel.
Cheers.
Happy Friday. Happy windy Friday.
I almost blew away twice coming over to the apartment.
I do not like talking about weather, but we have to talk about the craziest week.
The roller coaster that was DC Spring this week.
Well, we went from windows open, lying on top of our blankets
Because it was 80 degrees.
and we were told not to put the air conditioning on, keeping a dog from overheating, every that, to then a snowstorm.
Literally within 12 hours.
And like a proper arse snowstorm where there was settling of snow, to yesterday that was a snowstorm, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Monday was spring, Tuesday, Wednesday was summer. Yesterday was
crashing back down
winter,
to winter,
and today was fall.
Yeah, it's been so windy and blustery.
That's true. Lovely run weather, but it was cold. It definitely was a dip in the.
Yeah, it was choppy off at the Potomac at the office. It was a little bit miserable.
Yeah, Rock Creek was a bit of a wind tunnel.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Aside from that, how was your week?
Well, roller coaster everywhere. I mean, emotionally in the office, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. There's been some news about some positions that I'm not going to go into, but it was just like, oh, where are we going to...
Dog, Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, it's like, where are we going to go with this? And then there was a meeting on Wednesday where I swear to God, there was like one brain cell that was being shared amongst 3 people, and I was just watching it go back and forth between the 3 during the meeting, and I was like, oh my God.
What's the Greek sisters in the Medusa legends, and they pass the eye and a tooth between them?
The fates. It was very much one of those, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But it wasn't like a good brain cell at that. It's like the brain cell had been like out the night before with like a tequila, a bunch of like bachelorette party, and I was just like, oh, this is not...
It was Rhonda's leaving do.
It really was, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh no, like there is no saving this. And there was also like a tinge of arrogance, and I was just like, oh no, I'm gonna let you fall flat on this one. Like it was chef's kiss for like the worst meeting that you could possibly ever have with someone. You're like, oh no. And the thing is, they were supposed to be leading it, and I'm like, oh, this is going great. It was an outside party.
Oh, I've been following like you and the back and forth, and then also clarifying like who does what, why, and when, and where they've been. It's been like reading a murder mystery, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been epic. Just let me put it this way. Someone at one point was asking about, is there a freight elevator in this building? And I'm like, no, it's 1 story. There's no freight elevator in this building. But why isn't there a freight elevator? It's 1 story. It doesn't go anywhere. Like, you don't even have an elevator in this. It was one of those.
Go to sleep, Rolls. Pray for brains.
It really, I'm not making up that conversation. It was that bad. I was like, I cannot help this. I cannot save this situation.
I could. Oh, yeah. That's wow.
My IQ was dropping during that meeting. I was like, oh no, no. Anyway, so that has been my week in a nutshell. There has been a lot of sensory deprivation showers whenever I got home. We'll put it that way. Have you seen those? You go and you take a shower and you light a candle and you turn off the lights and you're like,
no, I should do more.
They're really good.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of those this week. I was just like, cannot deal with it. So yeah, how was your week?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Like last weekend, what did we get up to last weekend?
I don't remember what you did. I didn't do. No. Oh, we did brunch.
We did brunch. Last weekend was the birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Because we had Matt's birthday and John's birthday, and it was very nice, and we all hung out, and it was all good. No, so I'm really early days on something, but I think as this comes out, I've had a job offer, and we'll leave it because we don't go into what it is, but it's very exciting, and it is obviously full-time job again. I've been doing, I think, quite well consulting, but it's tiring, and the market in DC is just not there. No. And I unfortunately I'm working with another organisation to I was pitching, trying to get in on a project, and I pitched my budget, and they came back with, can you halve that, and it would reduce it down to a very basic hourly rate that just said, and I was like, I can't do it. This is not consulting. This is just salaried without the benefits. But now I will have benefits. So it's very early days in that, but it is, when this episode comes out, I will be halfway through. I'll be halfway through my last week with my present organisation and finishing that, and then I will have 1 week to myself.
Yay! I'm so proud of you for this.
To probably just write my book, read another book, and maybe fit the art galleries up.
Decompress.
Because talking of art galleries, we did go out together last night. Our joint culture this week was we did do Thanks to Lovely Meg, and then Mark joined us. Was a wonderful evening at the National Gallery.
Yes, it was the East Wing. I think the theme was Garden Party, I believe.
And our theme was Let's Find Penises in Every Painting.
It was. The four of us were very incorrigible, but it was so much fun.
It was lovely. It was a nice little wonder. A little bit sometimes I'm like, okay, do you really need to have a dance while doing this? But good for them for bringing in people.
Well, I mean, we saw this. There was someone in a beekeeper suit.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
I didn't know what to think of that, and I think it was someone who was hired by the gallery to be in the beekeeper suit, because I don't think it was a guest that showed up like that.
No,
I hope not.
Well, it got me in the mood, and now I'm in the mood for some foreplay.
Oh yes. All right, so foreplay for this week. For me, I have a movie of the week.
Yay. I
saw Knives Out 3, Wake Up Dead Man. I'm going to say this, it's not my favorite in the trilogy. It's good.
Yeah.
It's just not my favorite. I don't want to say it pulled a Richard Coles with the mystery, but it sort of did pull a Richard Coles with the mystery, which you get.
To watch it and then understand why you didn't like it, so I could then move that into my writing.
Yeah. I would say Josh O'Connor, though, I loved his performance in that.
Yeah, it would be a sad day when someone was able to bring his performance.
Yeah, no, I love Josh O'Connor in it. Let's see. My food of the week, I made a wonderful creamy shrimp and orzo recipe, but nice. I used coconut milk to make it nice and creamy, and less so than using heavy cream. It's still a little bit more fat than I'd like to have had in it, but it was a lot healthier and had some fresh lemon in it, so it was very nice and bright and spring, and there were some peas in it as well. Oh.
Because of what we're doing at the moment with our diet, I've been using the zest a lot. I've been not wasting the zest. I've been making sure that we are throwing anything that gives flavour into it.
Yes, so I had the zest in it, and I had the juice of one full lemon. Yes, I had one full lemon juice in there as well. So it was very nice and bright. And then Song of the Week is Fight Back by the band Voxtrot from Austin, Texas. They have reformed after, I think, a decade apart. It's very... I don't want to say it's emo, but also 1980s at the same time, but it is sort of that is the vibe I get off it. But I've been playing it constantly this week, so I highly recommend that.
Wonderful.
And what about you?
Well, I went to see The Bride at the cinema. I enjoyed it very much. I would like to watch it again. There's a lot going on, a lot of ideas. There was one element I was a little bit surprised at the start. It jarred me that Maggie Gyllenhaal was using as a narrative. Oh. And I've later found out that was something added in much later in the process. I wish there'd been a bit more confidence, and I wonder whether or not that was just kind of forced on. But it's an excellent film, definitely a phenomenal reinterpretation of the story. But yes, a couple of bits didn't quite gel in places, and I don't know why. And so I felt if it had gelled, I would have loved it. I really, really enjoyed it, but I didn't fall madly in love with it. And I think that's just... I think it was a bit of interference. I think there should be a bit more trust from the studio on her work. Yeah. I did go and finally watch Come See Me in the Good Light, which is about Andrew Gibson, the poet laureate of Colorado, who died last year of cancer. Amazing movie. It's on Apple TV, so I highly recommend it. It's a bit of a tearjerker, though, and it's her dealing with her last days and her mortality, and it's really quite something. And obviously, it's a documentary about a poet, so the to-camera pieces are just beautiful and moments of sheer reflection. And also my book of the week, I finished Mona of the Manor, which is the 10th and apparently final Tales of the City book. Daniel, have you read the Tales of the City books?
I have not read the Tales of the City book. I know. I
will have to think, because I think they're wonderful. And I think there's 3 trilogies now, this extra one.
Okay.
So there's the first 2 were written very close together in the 70s, 80s, and then they jumped to Michael Tolliver Lives, and that wasn't meant to be one, but he made it. He was like, yeah, shit, it was about one of the main characters. And then he did 2 more, and the last one was meant to end it, and then this one discusses something that happens between, I think, the 6th and 7th book. Like, a character died, and they want, and it was really sweetly done. It was I think, a really lovely book, and I think that ends it nicely. He says it's his last, and I can see how it could be, but there's still one character I think that he might want to go back and re-explore. I'm just a little bit like, I'm surprised you're not tempted to write about her a bit more, or maybe it'd be nice if someone else picked up the book.
Well, or maybe that's what he's aiming for. Maybe the story's done as far as he's concerned.
But the miniseries, I think the miniseries on Netflix, there's 4 of them.
Yeah, that was the one that was done in 2020.
Yeah, so there's the first 3. I've only seen the first 2 because the third one wasn't available in England. But and then they did the 4th one. But the 4th one is called Tales of the City. Is very much a composite of, I would say, the 7th, 8th, and 9th book, but not a direct. Whereas the others are like they take a book, they make a miniseries. Yeah, I would say this one is a lot more, and even then, it doesn't all go to. I thought it was good, and it brought a lot of the original cast back in places. Laura Linney, and she's always going to be Mary Ann Singleton to me. But yes, I feel I wish they'd stuck to the books. Yeah. They didn't need to do that. But anyway, I'm officially all nice and warmed up.
Ooh.
So that was Culture for us, but we want to make sure you're taken care of.
So the question is, who's your top, who's your bottom, and who is your lucky Pierre of the week?
So Daniel, who's your top, who's your bottom, and who is your lucky Pierre?
Well, we actually had a very funny moment, listeners.
Yes.
Where we have a shared bottom for the week.
Which is rare for us.
Which is very rare on several occasions. But the fact of the matter is, we literally were going to start off as we have a bottom of the week, but really it's a top, but it's the pettiest of bottoms, which is why we selected it.
So we will dive. See, Daniel was like taking the low blow.
I do take the low road. So one of our favorite singers at the moment, Raye.
Yes.
She did something a little bit incredible and something that I strive to one day do with an X or two, in that she erected a blue plaque at the Nightingale in Balham, South London, which is a pub. And the blue plaques are significant in the UK because they represent a very important person or figure was at this location, some sort of event happened to her.
Yes, so for instance, there's a blue plaque on 21B Baker Street,
yes,
significance for Sherlock Holmes. So it can be a fictional significance,
right?
Or we always passed one that was Charlie Chaplin's residence,
or Oscar Wilde lived here, or something like that. But anyway, she erected it there because it's the location of her greatest heartbreak that she has ever known. So it's dedicated to her ex-boyfriend. I strive to be that petty in my life.
Good for her.
But I can't blame her for it.
No. So every time he has a pint, it's his favourite pub. Every time he has a pint, he's got to stay.
He's going to have to look up and see it, like, right there. Did you see the photos that she took with it? Good.
Good for her.
Yeah. I wish to do that. All right. So that was our bottom of the week. Our top. Or my top, sorry. Not our top. My top for the week. So, Heated Rivalry director has been slated to direct a new show. It was announced that fresh off the blades of success of Heated Rivalry, director Jacob Tierney has been tapped to direct a new Netflix series entitled Alexander. It is based on the 2009 novel The Golden Mean by Annabella Lyon. The series follows the saga of the well-known bisexual Alexander the Great at the fall of the Grecian Empire. So
I'm curious about how he's going to do this one.
I wonder like how horny it's going to be, or is it just going to be sex for everybody?
But also the thing with Heated Rivalry was that he he wants. I didn't quite agree with some of the narrative points of it. I felt that there was not a lot of tension, but when I learned more about the making of it, I was horrendously impressed with him because he wanted to make it. He turned down the major streamers because they were literally trying to, what they wanted to completely dilute it.
Right.
He made it independently, and HBO had the common sense to pick it up. So now him doing something for Netflix is going to make or break his career, because when you're famous, you are the famous David against their Goliath. If now you're suddenly best mates of them and your work is noticeably not as, it kills it. But I am up for it. I think it'll be great. I like the fact it's taken from another novel, and a lot of these novels are very interesting in the angle they take at it. Good for him.
But I also think because of his success with Heated Rivalry, I think they might give him a little more latitude and be like, all right, we see what you can do. Go try to replicate that.
Tails were definitely tucked between legs, I think, after Heated Rivalry.
Yes, indeed. All right, and now for my lucky PR of the week, and I will admit that this is slightly unusual, and that this is a very sunshiny lucky PR for me, because I just felt good. Every single time I read this in a blog or saw it on Instagram, it just made me happy. So history was made at Fashion Week in Paris for the Winter 2026 collections, with the debut of Max Alexander with a 15 dress line. It was very sustainable haute couture at the Opera Garnier show, and it made news because Max is 10 years old. 10. He's an Instagram personality. You might know him for a tie dress that he made, I believe last year or 2 years ago. It's very iconic, very chic. All I'm going to say is that it's rather, according to the Instagram stories, according to his parents, at the age of 4 or 5, he came and said he wanted to be a dressmaker, and they're like, okay, well, you get to go do what you want to do, and we're going to support that. I'm going to say this. He is a sheer genius, and I don't mean to play on pun there. Sheer genius. There's a lightness, yet a maturity with his work. He's not a gimmick, and it's very much one of these. His parents are not the face of this. It doesn't seem like they're exploiting him. It's very much, he has a talent, he has a passion, he has a draw, and they're like, go explore it. He is very, very into Christian Dior, so he went to the Christian Dior Museum during the fashion show. He reminds me a bit of Yves Saint Laurent. However, his methods are very much closer to Chanel. Yeah. And that he lets the fabric speak to him, and he will stretch the fabric and he'll manipulate the fabric, but he doesn't sketch it out. So it's very much a Chanel of, I'm working with the body and the fabric at hand. And I'm just, it was just a moment of positivity out of everything that's happening in the world right now. It just made me happy to see someone succeed, even if they're 10 years old. And even though Max has never come out or anything, I think we can quite clearly say he's a member of the family. So I'm very happy.
That's good.
That he's supported. And I just want us to cherish this little bitty thing and just protect him. Protect the dolls is what I'm saying on this one. It just made me happy.
How has he got, because that's young.
Yes.
At 10, I was obsessed with Power Rangers.
Right.
And I loved movies, and I knew I wanted to kind of make them, but I'm not saying my parents weren't. If I said I wanted to make movies, my parents would have been like, we're not buying you a camcorder.
Right. I think it is a bit young, but I also think it's, partially what he chose to say that he was passionate about. I think had he said he was passionate about sports, his parents could have been one of these families that are like, all right, then you're doing figure skating every single day, blah, 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 or basketball practice every single day. And, there we go. But I think it's because it was fashion. A lot of people may have waited until after they had gone to college or something like that and gone to design school to pick it up. And his parents were like, no, if you want to do it, do it. And I think that's his brilliance, but also them being brilliant of being like, all right, we're going to give you the tools to succeed. Go knock yourself out with it. A lot of his fashion is with found fabric. So I don't know that it was oh, we're going to spend tons of money on it. I think it was just all right, here's something in the back closet. Start off and play with that. And then I think it's just developed.
So once you've done this, what happens next? I take it he doesn't have a house of Alexander yet.
No, I don't think he has a house of Alexander yet. I think we're working up to that, though. Yeah. I think if you make a debut at 10, you're making waves at that point. And I think, he'll be someone to watch. I think that if he continues with this route, he could be picked up by another house at that point. Or he I think
it would be sad if he burnt out.
Yes, and I was about to say that's my flip side is I hope he doesn't burn out.
Yeah.
Because I think what he's actually creating is rather ingenious and amazing looking at the work. Like, I'm in love with it. Like, artistically, it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I think this is a developing story for the next, decade, but I think we could at least, mark it right here.
Yeah, well, there has to be a system, because I think that there is such a weight at the moment on overnight success, on this genius aspect of it, is that, and then they release this, they release that. When the gimmick goes, some very talented people do disappear, and if that would be sad, but he needs to sort of go, right, you've done this, you've proven, you've made this, but you need to make yourself now sustainable. And that is going to mean going quiet for a bit and doing this or doing that and learning and going through your own life. He's got
I was about to say, and I hope he does take that time to not just throw himself completely into this, but to actually experience life along the way too. Like do other normal kid things at 10.
Yeah, that's the thing of some of them as well is, you look at someone like Billie Eilish and Phineas, is that, they've been doing music forever, but they were also homeschooled, so had a very fluid curriculum. So, that's great, because they were probably just doing their GED.
Yeah.
And then given time to do free learning and stuff. And that's all fantastic, but some of us were...
in the public school
system, know, and then doing homework and then fucking shattered. And
then it's and you had your extracurriculars. You have no other time to do anything else.
And now we're just bitter 40-year-olds.
Right. So anyways, Max, what about you? What was your top and your bottom and your lucky Pierre?
Well, I don't really have a bottom this week, but I would like to say that the lovely Maya Rudolf has been elected gay pope, which basically is code for she's the new Mary Todd Lincoln.
Praise be.
So she's, I think, April she'll start, or at least May. I think usually there's a couple of weeks between, so she'll take over from John Cameron Mitchell, which I would like to see. I also now love to see Maya Rudolf. So the good
I wouldn't say no to anyone who's in it.
Yeah, this is the trouble at the moment, is that I do love the fact that there is so much potential to who they're going to put into it, but that's very exciting.
And I feel like friend of the podcast Aaron is probably going to go see her regardless.
Yes,
so it'll be number 7 that he's seen of it.
On my top of the week, this is a bit of a different one, is that the first ever sci-fi film from 1897 has finally been rediscovered. So for those that don't know, Georges Méliès is a French filmmaker, very early filmmaker, a magician. He is the subject of the book. I can't remember now that fucking book that came off the top of my. I will think about it. Hugo. Hugo was the book.
Oh yeah, Hugo. Yeah.
And that was and he was the subject of that. But he did the trip to the moon, the Voyage de Lune, where the bullet-shaped ship goes into the moon's eye. Is the famous.
Oh yeah,
one.
yeah. Wasn't that based on Jules Verne?
Yes.
I don't remember the title of the book, though.
So it's a very famous, but no, they've rediscovered it. It was found in the vault, the usual, and it features a very early automaton or a robot. And it is basically a mischievous robot that slowly gets more and more out of control and eventually harms his maker. And in a funny way, and it's about 30 seconds long. But it is also one of the early warnings about technology.
Well, I think we should all watch and listen to that one.
But no, it's been. I read a little bits about it. I would highly recommend looking into this. The actual film is called Gugas et les Automates.
Okay.
I think I fucked that one up right.
You may have butchered that French. Not that I could speak it much better.
But it's Gugas the Automaton is the English version. But no, it's always interesting. There were some amazing short films back in the day.
Yeah.
And they are still in our culture in many ways. But the automaton, the robot, is one of the very fascinating concepts because they are not always robotic. A robot is a servant.
Yeah.
Or man-made object. They are not. The concept of them being cybernetic, it's a very new concept.
I was going to say, it's very modern for them to be cybernetic.
But that leads me just to come up to my final bit, talking about old styles of artistry. Timothée Chalamet opened his mouth and shat all over, this is my lucky Pierre, not lucky for some, opera and ballet.
Yes.
Basically said, who's interested in dying art?
Yeah.
We have heard, I highly recommend Nathan Lane on The View. Google it.
Yes.
Discussing it.
Well worth it.
Also, it's just been a lot of backlash. Especially sad because a lot of the women in his family, it sounds like, have been involved in the ballet.
Yes.
Obviously, a lot of criticism of the person in the ping pong movie. Now criticising the art form, talking about art forms that people, air quote, do not care about.
Yeah.
The opera community has struck back with the National Opera offering discount tickets with the voucher code Timothée. And yeah, just generally. But I mean, I know that a lot of these art forms are not mainstream. I know that a lot of them do rely on some level of funding and extra, and I get that they're not all there, but a lot of these, I've been to the English National Opera, I've been in there and it was packed.
I love going to the opera. It's one of my favorite things to do.
And I think that whether or not it is always going to be busy is another thing. But then, you know, you can turn around and say, look at a modern musical and go, well, it's got a half full house. I saw Flashdance musical in an empty theatre.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, but if you think about it, some of the most famous operas, so like, I mean, the Puccini's have been around since the 1880s, and they're still being performed. And then you have like Mozart's from like 1700s, and like they're still being performed. But they're sort of timeless.
But you even take Swan Lake,
yes,
right?
Tchaikovsky,
and the music in that is very modern.
It's iconic.
I was so surprised about how that could be if I didn't know where it came from, that could be a modern film score because it's just I don't know why he said it. I can see probably maybe his angle of where he was coming from, but I don't want to give him the benefit of that. There is so much ingrained in culture in these art forms, and also they both involve a level of discipline which ripples through their industry.
I mean, art is the expression of the human spirit.
Yeah.
And it takes many forms and fashions, no pun intended, and it can be fashion, it could be film, it could be opera, and it's all valid and worthy. And so whenever you degrade one of them, you're degrading all of them, you're degrading the human spirit.
I think
which irks me.
And both of them are, I would say, they're like silent movies. Like, majority of operas I have seen, I've only seen one opera in English, and that was Jerry Springer the Opera.
I was going to say, I've never seen it
so
in
it's
English.
done through tone.
Yeah.
Ballet's done through movement. I've not seen a traditional ballet. I've seen multiple versions of it. The last one I saw was a Black Sabbath ballet, which was great, but there was comments about the sloppiness at that point, and a director needed to come in and Madame Jury the shit out of them. But no, I think it's very sad that he decided to attack an art form like that it just was so unnecessary and uncalled for, and it sounds like it's cost him the Oscar.
Well, and the thing is, if you didn't have those forms of art, you would not have film today.
But no, it's been dominating the feeds in the sense, and no one's come to his defense.
I wouldn't. I'm not.
The co-star saw was Fox News going, well, I think that makes sense because the left have destroyed all these art forms. I'm like, fuck off.
Right. I'm sorry. I just cannot with that.
Well, with that, Daniel, let's move away from opera and art because no one cares about it anymore.
That's true.
What do you think culture's going to be next week?
I'm going to steal your thunder. It's going to be the Oscars.
You think it's going to be the Oscars?
It's either going to be the fashion for me, or it's going to be the awards for you, and the conversation that's going to come out of it.
We've got a minute, a cheeky minute. I mean, you're going to be talking about this after. I don't like to talk about it because it's by this point to be done. Do you have a vibe based on someone who doesn't really watch the movies or listen to the news about it? What is your vibe? What are you picking up on as the cream of the news?
So the conversation that I keep hearing is that Sinners could be a spoiler for everything.
Yeah,
and
which
it could
is
be
a good
sweep.
spoiler.
Yes, and I'm sort of like, okay.
And the rumor is, and I hope this is true, is that the performance of the song is going to recreate potentially that scene.
Oh God, I'd love that. I have seen that scene, so I'm like, I would.
So I agree with you. I think it's going to be a lot of that.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Max, and thank you for being our third this week.
Cheers.
A big thank you to everyone for tuning in to Daniel Max's Cultural Freeway and for giving us a listen.
Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review, and follow us on the socials.
You can find us under Bearded Bitch Pod or Bitches with Beards. Please remember that only a mother could love our views and opinions, and they reflect us and no one else.
We'll be here next week, unless we're cancelled.